Everybody's hocked a saddle. Most hands have sold a favorite pair of spurs. It's part and parcel of a cowboy's life. It's just to test your nerve. You're too broke to pay attention when you're riding through a rough string of luck. But I still love my life. Wouldn't trade it for $1,000,000. 'Cause I got an old hat that fits me just fine, a pair of chinks that are worn out but custom made. I get to see the horses shed in early spring and go to a jackpot roping if I get paid. I've chased lions up on Big Bug Mountain and shod some horses down on the track. I've smelled hay that'd take your breath away and hitchhiked from here to who knows where and back. Why, I've even entered a couple of indoor rodeos, slept under a teepee made from a wagon fly. Me and an old bronc swam the Willamette River one time, and he was gentle when we come out the other side. I set chokers on a high lead logging crew way up on the Oregon coastal range. I even bought one brand spanking new pickup truck, then had to survive for days on ashtray change. Everybody's hocked a saddle. Most hands have sold a favorite pair of spurs. It's part and parcel of a cowboy's life, just to test your nerve. You're too broke to pay attention when you're riding through a rough string of luck. But I still love my life. Wouldn't trade it for $1,000,000. But there is one thing that really sticks in my craw. I sold my first and only bronc saddle like a fool. It went from priceless to a couple $100 'cause I needed to buy me some horseshoeing tools. But you know, I just did what I had to do at the time. I sold something I had to buy something I was needing, and truth is, I was happy to have the money. It's whatever it took to keep my old pocketbook from bleeding. But $200, what was I thinking? That's less the commission. I'm here to tell you, whoever's got that saddle could name their price if that boy of mine could wear just a little basket stamp off that old association. Everybody's hocked a saddle. Most hands have sold a favorite pair of spurs. It's part and parcel of a cowboy's life, just to test your nerve. You're too broke to pay attention when you're riding through a rough string of luck. But I still love my life. Wouldn't trade it for $1,000,000. Oh, how I love my life. Wouldn't trade it for $1,000,000. It's a fact that you're getting older. Man, don't it seem like the winters are colder? You get tired so easy and you can't stand the heat. That's just the old cowboy blues. When you wear out your first pair of house shoes, you don't get as much done and work ain't as much fun as it used to be. Still you wanna ride with the boys when you hear that noise. I swear it sounds like thunder. When they ride off the hill and down through town, you can't stand that thumb you're living under. 'Cause there's places out there that you ain't been, and you've heard about cattle that's never been pinned. The hardest part of all is laying there at night and wondering if you still can. Don't it scare you that the rows are shorter and your old starter, it's starting harder. You finally figured out that you ain't made of steel. That's just the old cowboy blues. When you wear out your first pair of house shoes, you used to be afraid they wouldn't buck. Now you're afraid they will. Still you wanna ride with the boys when you hear that noise. I swear it sounds like thunder. When they ride off the hill and down through town, you can't stand that thumb you're living under. 'Cause there's places out there that you ain't been, and you've heard about cattle that's never been penned. The hardest part of all is laying there at night and wondering if you still can. That's a cowboy blues. Cowboy blues. Cowboy blues.
Gather round, boys, the story I'll tell about a young Texas Wrangler as tough as a nail. Just south of Catula, where the new Oasis winds, lives the king of all cowboys by the name of Phil Line. Homegrown from George West, just down the road. He learned real young, he was tough to be thrown. Bulls are bronc busting, he pulled his hat brim. Right to the whistle didn't matter to him. Now if you was a gambler, he'd be a sure bet. A better steer-oper I never have met. Through his rodeo, and 3 times I recall, he rode in with nothing, rode out with it all. Now he's hung up his bull rope and bronc saddle too. His days of riding the rough stock are through. There's a slim chance another will do what he's done. My guess the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Well, I've told you the story the best way I know, about a young Texas Wrangler who was real tough to throw. Look up the word cowboy in the dictionary, and it would read Phil Line out about guarantee. So if you got a minute, well, lend me an ear. I'll tell you about a man the best bucking bulls fear. Just south of Catula, where the new Oasis winds, lives the king of all cowboys by the name of Phil Line. Young man's days are numbered, Lord, most of them were spent. He was scared of dying, well, he never gave a hint. Said I've had more fun in this life than most folks twice my age. Been a few chapters I regret as I approach the final page. Had my share of whiskey, Lord, back in my wilder days. There was times that wife of mine wished I would change my ways. Through it all, I don't recall the times were all that bad. Thank the good Lord and my wife for the good times that I've had. And I hope when folks remember me that it brings on a smile. Hope I leave a memory that lasts more than a while. Hope throughout the test of life I pass more than I fail. And I leave lots of pleasant thoughts past the end of my trail. He said life's a precious thing, a few folks realize. It can be taken for granted till you stare death in the eyes. Said it's not how long you live, it's how you spend the time you have. If you feel your life was not in vain, then death don't seem so bad. And I hope when folks remember me that it brings on a smile. Hope I leave a memory that lasts more than a while. Hope throughout the test of life pass more than I failed. And I leave lots of pleasant thoughts past the end of my trail. He said there's a few things that I wish I could have done. A few more seeds I'd like to sow before my race is run. But you can't sit back and worry about why life turned out this way. Let life come at you as it will. Live it day by day. And I hope when folks remember me that it brings on a smile. Hope I leave a memory that lasts more than a while. Hope throughout the test of life I pass more than I fail. And I leave lots of pleasant thoughts past the end of my trail. And I leave lots of pleasant thoughts past the end of my trail.
He spent his days with horses and his nights with Rosalie. He spent his pay on whiskey that was made in Tennessee. As I was growing up, he spent a lot of time with me. When I asked him about women, well, he just grinned. He said, son, I know horses like the back of my hand. He said, some are born to run, some will stomp you just for fun, and some have got the devil in their eyes. There's some that you can trust, and some will leave you in the dust, and the wild ones will shake you up inside. But you'll always remember the ride. Like him, I've rode some horses, some were fast, some were slow. I've known my share of women, I've seen them come, I've seen them go. The horses I can handle, but the women's got me throwed. Now I smile when I remember that old man. He knew more than horses, like the back of his hand. He said, some are born to run, some will stomp you just for fun, and some have got the devil in their eyes. There's some that you can trust, and some will leave you in the dust, and the wild ones will shake you up inside. But you'll always remember the ride. He said some are born to run, some will stomp you just for fun, and some have got the devil in their eyes. There's some that you can trust, and some will leave you in the dust, and the wild ones will shake you up inside. But you'll always